If you've watched manifestation content, it's not going to be the first time you hear that the circumstances you might be having are, they don't matter. Circumstances don't matter, blah, 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 blah. But we know they feel like they matter. And we know it's not very much fun to be experiencing a reality that we're not enjoying. Today, I'm going to explain to you why you have nothing to worry about. You really have nothing to worry about. And the circumstances are going to change. And there's actually kind of a good reason why they're happening. And that's what we're going to talk about in today's video. Hello, my fellow flawless, limitless, sexy, sassy, saucy HBICs. How are you on this lovely morning, afternoon, or evening? How are you all? I hope you're all doing fabulous. I hope you're all choosing to be the versions of yourself that have exactly what you want. I hope that's what you're doing. I hope you're enjoying your life. Need a little top up. I hope things are going well with you. If they're not, and that's why you're watching a circumstance video, well, let me explain as best as I can what you might be experiencing. Now, if you're not new to the manifestation community, I'm sure you have heard that, it's the old reality playing out. It's the manifestation of your old self. Those are really things that I myself have said in my previous videos, and I got a lot of content. I've been making manifestation content for over 5 years or just 5 years? I know that number 5 is in there somewhere. First of all, let me explain that you are going to hear my washer and dryer in the background. Second of all, let me explain that when we're experiencing circumstances that we don't like, I want you to realize that in that moment, you're being specific. You're deciding in that moment what you do want to experience. You see, when you see things in reality that are not what you want, you're letting your higher self, universe, God, your own I amness, you're letting it know that that's not something I choose. That's not something I prefer. It's not something I want. And then from there, we bring our focus back to the reality we do choose. But most of us don't do that. Most of us get very stuck in staring and fixating and trying to fix the problem, fix the circumstance. And it's only because, our conditioning is stare at it, fixate, analyze, try to control, try to change, right? We're always trying to find the solution to the problems we think we're having. And that's the problem in of itself, is we're keeping our focus on the wrong thing. The moment we decided that we didn't like the circumstance, when we didn't like what we're experiencing, our job was done. Our job was done. We let the higher self know, I don't want that anymore. I don't like it. It gives me a yuck feeling. This isn't my desire. But what we're supposed to do is then get busy going back to what we do want, to what we do prefer, to the reality we do choose. It's our job as conscious manifestors, as being awake, as being aware, it is our job to use our free will to choose which reality we prefer, which version of ourself that we prefer. It is our only real requirement. Focus on being, however that is for you. And when I word it like that, I simply mean, what technique do you enjoy doing? What technique lets you step into the version of yourself that you prefer, the reality that you prefer, and go back to it? Get busy going back, getting into your imagination and imagining the reality you prefer. And that might just be simply a visual that you prefer, a visual that signifies your desire is here, your manifestation is here. Think of it as when we see contrast, when we see the opposite of what we want, when we make that decision, no, I don't like this, No, I don't want more than that or more of that. We are fine-tuning what we do want. We are getting clear on our desire. We're allowing higher self, our I amness, our conscious awareness, the universe, whatever you believe in. We're showing it, we're declaring to it, I want more of this experience. This feels good. This makes me happy. I want more of this. But again, what do we get caught in the cycle of? Fixating on what we don't want, staring at what we think is a problem. Now, outside of the fact that the moment you say yes to a desire, when you say yes, I want to experience that, I'm manifesting that thing or that person, that rocket of desire already pew, popped off. That manifestation was on its way to you instantly. But then we look at reality, and if we don't see what we want, we assume it means my manifestation isn't here yet, or manifestation isn't working. I'm not enjoying my life experience. We go and fixate and focus on all the things that we don't want, not really understanding that we are willingly focusing out at it. We are willingly saying, I don't like this, I don't like this, I don't like this, I don't like this. But you're sending a mixed signal. When you keep trying to fix a problem or get something out of your reality, when you continue to focus on it and marinate on it and see it as a scary problem or an inconvenience, but you keep giving it all your free will attention, you're giving the message that you'd like more of that. You would prefer some more. You want to keep experiencing things like this. We as conscious manifestors, our job is to inform our higher self or inform the universe, God, what we do want. Another way of saying that is our conscious mind, that conscious thought, I want this manifestation, is communicating to the subconscious mind. So when you keep the focus on all the things we don't want, on the problems, you're giving the signal, give me more of this. I'm seeing this. I'm this version of myself. This is who, with my free will, am choosing to be. The version of myself that is experiencing circumstance in 3D. See, the problem being in reality really isn't a problem. It's allowing you to activate in the infinite what you do want. This is what I meant by your rocket of desire. It's a little Abraham Hicksy, but you get what I mean. Our specific person isn't showing up the way we prefer. We see it, we stare at it, we look out at it, and we keep fixating on it. We keep focusing. See, when we notice it, and we decide, I'm not enjoying this, I don't want this, that's getting clear that that's not what you want to experience anymore. So we go back, and we go back to focusing on what we do want. You're activating the infinite. But because you have free will, you have the ability to activate and choose and select and pick from infinite awareness or infinite possibilities, or the quantum field, whatever wording you prefer. What we focus on is what we're selecting. So this is why staying focused on the circumstance, fixating on it, it's why we might not be experiencing what we want. And it's why it might feel like the problem is not going away. Yeah, because you keep choosing it. You keep selecting it. The moment you noticed the contrast, the moment you noticed SP is still acting like old self, after you noticed it, from there we go back to thinking of yourself as being in the reality or being in the version of yourself who is experiencing the most amazing version of your specific person. That's how to handle it. When we do that, when we get our focus, our attention off of the circumstance, we stop fixating. We just made our selection out of the infinite. We just chose the reality we prefer. We're allowing God, universe, subconscious mind, we're allowing it to freely flow in our reality. We're allowing it to move that circumstance right on out of your reality. You're allowing it to leave. But when you keep staring at it, keep worrying about it, keep focusing on it, you're asking it to stay. Now, there is a difference between being aware and fixating. It's okay that you know that something's in your reality that you don't like. That's not a problem. You knowing that it's there, that it happened, that's not a problem. You haven't ruined anything. But it's still our job to go back to being aware of the reality you prefer. Simply by asking yourself, what would it feel like if I had everything I wanted? What would my life feel like? What would it look like? What would it be like to be that version of myself? That's it. I know it sounds too good to be true, but it's really all we have to do, but we tend not to. We stay in our old habits and fixate out at the problem, stare at the problem, worry about the problem, get upset with the problem, get frustrated with manifestation, get frustrated with ourselves. And what are we doing then? We're saying yes to more. So right now, if a circumstance is in your 3D, you've already decided you don't like it, you don't want it. Now go back to focusing on being the version of yourself who has the life they want. That circumstance, that problem is somehow still connected to you getting that manifestation. That circumstance did not happen by accident or by coincidence. It is a part of moving and shaping you into being a new version of yourself in a new reality. It is a part of the orchestration of bringing you a life you love, a life you enjoy. Let me just say this. I just used this analogy in a TikTok video recently. I have long lashes, relatively long lashes. So long that I have stopped putting mascara on my lower lashes temporarily. And I use waterproof mascara. I do. I know. What does this have to do with manifesting? I promise it's gonna come back around. I get smudges of mascara underneath. And it's annoying. Okay? I don't like it. I don't want to keep focusing on it. I would like to get the problem off my face. Staring at my mascara smudge, staring at it, and trying to clean it off through the screen of space on the mirror, on the camera, to get this mascara smudge. I'm not going to go out here and start scrubbing there to get the mascara off. I need to come to the source. I need to come to the source of it and focus on what I do want, a mascara-free face. But when we fixate and stare and focus on the problem on the screen of space, it's not going to take care of it. It's not what's going to remove it. What removes it is when we go inward and focus on what we do want, on the reality we do prefer, on the version of ourselves we do prefer. And by focusing, I mean asking yourself, what is the desired life you want? What is the reality you prefer? What does it look like? What happens in a day in your life in that reality? Your logical mind might have just said, I don't know, I'm not in it, Kim. Yes, you do know. Because yes, it exists already. This is how we activate what we want from the infinite. This is how we decide. And trust me, things will present themselves to bring about the changes, the desires. But staring at the problem, staring at my mascara smudge in the mirror isn't going to make it go away. If I sit here and stare at that smudge over and over and over, bitching about it, talking about it, fixating on it, is that going to get the mascara off my face? No, it's not. Is that going to get your circumstance out of here? No, it's not. But going to the source of it will. The answer is always within us. We let our subconscious mind know who we are by what we continue to fixate and focus on, which is why we have to transcend our old habits and focus on the life you want instead, on being that version of yourself instead. That's how we get the rockets of desire, the rockets of change. That's how we get them free flowing in reality. That's how we tell the universe. That's how we tell God what we want. That's how you connect with your inner self, your I amness, your higher self. Whatever words feel good to you or resonate with you. That's how you decide. You pull your attention away from it. And you get to be able to trust that you made your decision. You made the selection. I don't prefer that in my relationship, or I don't prefer that in, my money category, my love category, whatever it is you're manifesting in your business. I don't prefer that. Okay. Bring your attention back over to what you do want and do your best. You don't have to be perfect. To keep your eyes focused over here, the life you want, and how it would feel to have that life, and how good, how amazing, how safe, secure, how fulfilled you're going to feel. Tap into that. The circumstance will go away, and it's going to lead you to exactly what you want. You mark my words. So on that note, I'll see you tomorrow.